individual dispatches in Europe and North Africa during World War II. Now today, organizations like the East Coast chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen are working to get young people, minorities, interested in aviation. We are honored to have with us tonight Gabriel Christian, who's the president of the East Coast chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated, and Colonel Charles McGee, who is a Tuskegee Airman himself after having flown more than 400 missions dating back to World War II. And Isaiah Payton is here with us, a 2018 graduate of the Youth in Aviation program. First to you, Colonel McGee, it is an absolute honor and a privilege to have you here. Thank you so much for your service. I have half a mind to blow off these other guys and my producers and spend the remainder of the show just talking to you about some of your exploits. But that's not why we're here. I want to go back to the 1940s. And I want to go back to the time that you were an engineering student at the University of Illinois. Did you ever think that it was in the realm of possibility that you could be an aviator in the U.S. military?
No, I really didn't. I got into aviation because I was avoiding the draft.
Okay. It worked out well for you, though. You enlisted, and then you were able to join the Tuskegee Airmen after that.
Yep. I was able to become a pilot taking the exams and went directly into training as a cadet. And after my first flight, I knew I'd made the right decision.
Did you ever have an interest in aviation, or did you maybe have an interest in it and think it was just something that was unattainable?
I'm not one of those that had that interest, but I was certainly willing to serve because of what was going on at the time and our participation in World War II. But after my first flight, as I say, I knew I was hooked.
You were hooked.
I loved aviation. That's what I like to pass on to young folks. Find what you like to do and go for it.
And I think one of those young men is sitting right next to you here. Perhaps you've had a large influence on his life and his career. Just one more question for you here before we move to Isaiah next to you, is that what have you told younger students who are coming up in aviation? How do you get them to understand and love it the way you do? And do they understand that it's a little easier for them now because of the path that you blazed for them?
Well, I'm not so sure they understand anything's easier in this day and age, but I just tell them to find their talents, believe that they can, don't let anybody tell you can't do something. And of course, that certainly was what was ahead of us, saying because of our happenstance of birth, we couldn't do anything technical. We can do it, and that's what we push on to them. And believe that you can and go for it.
And you did it extremely well, better than most, I would say. Isaiah, you are a 2018 graduate of this Youth in Aviation program through the Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated. How did aviation get its hooks in you?
I've been interested in aviation since my dad. He's been talking about it, and his co-worker is actually an organizer of this program. And they were just talking about how I've always loved aviation, how I've always wanted to fly a plane, F-18. So when she gave me the opportunity to join this program, I just knew I had to do it.
So what's the path that you're on? Have you been flying? Do you have a license? Is that kind of where you're going?
I have about 32 hours right now, and you need 40 for your private pilot's license. And throughout this program, they've given me the opportunity to get those hours. I've never even known I would have this opportunity if it wasn't for this program. And I'm extremely grateful that I've been able to get this far.
And what do you want to do?
I would like to be an airline pilot and aerospace engineer. I'm going to Florida Tech to study those majors, and I'm doing their flight program, and this program is giving me an amazing advantage.
Tremendous. Yeah. Mr. Christian, Gabriel Christian, your organization has